Hello, this is SD Filmmaker, host of Could It Exist in Real Life and Straight Up Reviews. On December 21st, 2013 in Ontario, Canada, as well as the surrounding provinces and states, that have encountered a rare disaster that hit North America, an ice storm. An event that causes ice to build up all over the place, from streets to houses to cars and other things. Among the disasters to occur, such as fallen tree branches, much of Ontario, including my own home, was hit with a power outage. My block's power is back on, but we are not out of the woods yet, ladies and gentlemen. Over the past year, I've tried to bring something new to my site by trying to find real-life equivalents to fictional mediums. While I am still doing that, I will, as of now, use my site to help others in any way I can. So as of now, I'm recording a survival audio, should we ever encounter this or any other event that causes us to lose our power. So without further ado, this is ST Survival Tips. Now I'm going to go over the obvious things first, but this is mainly for when you're in a position where you can't do these things. The obvious things go as follow. Don't panic. When you or a group panics, it leaves the mind out of shape and not able to think straight. If you're going to worry about your friends and family more. It will keep yourself focused as you're trying to help others. Buy a generator. This is the more expensive option for some and pointless to others because not everyone lives in a house, and it would be very dangerous to have one in an apartment building as you could risk carbon monoxide poisoning. However, for those who do, if you can at least hook it to your heating system, you should be fine. But keep it outdoors either way for the reason I just mentioned. If a generator is no option for you, this is a healthy alternative, an Eliminator Power Pack. This ranges from $100 to $200, not counting taxes depending on where you shop, and could very well save your life in an apartment. What it is essentially a power pack that you can charge with a car battery or any other sources of power, and it comes with AC and DC outlets so you can power your bare essentials. If that is not an option for you either, then you're in luck. There are plenty of warm centers all over town. To those that don't know, a warm center is a building, usually a police station or a community center, that lends out their place for those in need of anything from food to a bed to a hot shower. Now that I've gotten the obvious out of the way, here are some survival tips. Now these tips have saved my own life, but might not go well for everyone depending on where you live. Tip number 1, know your weather. This is crucial because there are times where you can stay at home, but times we need to leave. A good way of doing this is purchasing a portable radio, which aren't very expensive depending on where you live. If it's in the -10 area, get the fuck out of there. Find a warm spot or go to any surviving shops or bars that have heat. Number 2, know your home. For those too stubborn to leave, there are ways of keeping warm at home without relying on heater power. Before I say this, here's what's not to do. As stated before, generators are not safe indoors. However, an even worse problem occurs, and I'm going to cover that base. Never use charcoal to warm your house. The calls to fire departments of CO1 poisoning increased 5 times because of this situation, some of which are lucky to be alive. Even if you have a fireplace, never do that or burn anything that causes the smoke level to increase. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, here's what you can do. Gather as much blankets as you can. The human body is much more warmer than you think, and you can use it to your advantage with this. If you don't live alone, huddle together with your friends or family. I said huddle. Number 3, know your food situation. You can have plenty of food, but it's not going to cut it if some requires refrigeration. I learned that the hard way. But if you insist on frozen meat and food anyway, buy any foods with a label marked fully cooked. That way there's no risk of salmonella poisoning. That said, stock up on all your dry and canned goods. Most of them are fully cooked anyway and require no heat source whatsoever. Worst case scenario, just get a bad taste. This includes junk food, by the way, so don't get picky. The 4th and final tip is the most important one. Know your block. Odds are it could only be your house while others have powers. In that case, if you know your neighbors well, they can let you stay until it comes back on. However, it could also be the entire block, and even if they wanted to, they probably could not due to the circumstances. That's it for my end, and it's quite obvious there are other ways. To anyone in Canada, I encourage you to submit your own tips on this site, as well as anyone around the world with similar problems. As usual, debate, argue, and let me know what I missed. Stay tuned for more, and have a happy new year.